So, do you feel like I'm so behind in life and I don't think I'm ever going to catch up? If that's you, then this video is definitely for you. Keep watching. Let me explain something to you. I am 40 years old and I live in a one room. And I know some people are going to be like, at your age, you can't be living in a one room. But just because I stay in a one room doesn't mean I have a one room mentality. Just because I am staying in a one room doesn't mean I don't have an empowered mindset. So, where you are at is not a reflection of who you are. It's not about where you live. It's not about your living circumstances or your environment. It's not about what you have acquired in your life, your material acquisitions and your material possessions. It's not about that. It's about who you are here in your mind. It's about who you are becoming as a person. That is the important thing. Not your circumstances and not your things that you possess, not the fact that you stay in a fancy suburb or you have fancy clothes and you have fancy friends and you eat fancy food and you stay in fancy digs. It's not about that. You have to look at life based on your beliefs, okay? Based on who you are. There are some people right now who are staying in mansions, in bigger spaces that I'm living in, who have a very messed up mindset, who are not empowered, who are becoming horrible people. That doesn't mean that they are better people because they are staying in a better place. So you have to focus on who am I and who am I becoming? And who do I want to be? What do you want to be in your life? Be that person. Because as long as you focus on what you have and the environment you're living in, you're going to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. You're never going to move forward. You're never going to be progressive. It's about your own journey. It's really about your own journey. Don't look at, oh my gosh, my peers are way advanced and way ahead of me. They've got their own journey, and you've got your own journey. Focus on your journey. Because if you want to focus on someone else's journey, you're going to get sidetracked. You're going to lose focus. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be discouraged. And you're going to start taking the wrong pills for things that you're going to be diagnosed with that are not even illnesses because you have just been overthinking things. Their journey is their journey. Your journey is your journey. Focus on your journey. It's okay if they've acquired what they've acquired and they've done what they've done. Well done and kudos to them. But that's not your journey. God's journey for us all is different, and you have to start looking at life that way. Joseph himself was thrown in the pit by his own brothers. That was his journey. He was supposed to go to Egypt. He was supposed to go through what he went through. That was his journey. Potiphar's wife played a role, sent him to prison. That was his journey. He could have looked at life and said, no, but this is not where I'm supposed to be. Absolutely right. That's not where he was supposed to be. But that was his journey to get to where he was supposed to be. So your journey is different, but it must not change who you are. Those things that Joseph faced did not change who he was. He still remained faithful to God. He still remained faithful and true to who he was. And it took him straight to the palace. Even the butler, I can't remember if it was the butler or the baker, who forgot about him when he was in prison. That was part of his journey. But it still did not change the fact that he was going to be elevated and he was going to be prime minister in Egypt. If he had thought, oh my gosh, look at where I'm at, I'm in this pit and my brothers have thrown me in this pit, oh my goodness, Potiphar's wife has lied about my situation and I'm going to suffer and get into depression, he would not have had an empowered mindset. It might have forced him to do the wrong thing. So stop focusing on where you're at and stop focusing on other people's progress. Just because they seem like they are making progress doesn't necessarily mean they are making progress. You are making progress if you're following your purpose. You're making progress if you're on the journey to achieving your purpose. And just because the society we live in expects us to have certain results, just because we don't meet those results according to expectations, doesn't mean we're failing. So focus on who am I, not focus on where am I at. Focusing on where you're at instead of who you are is wrong. So focus on who you are, who you're becoming, who you want to be, and be that person. Focus on having strong beliefs. Focus on having empowered beliefs. Focus on having empowered thoughts. Focus on doing what you're called to do. Then you're on a very good journey of empowering yourself. Then you're on a journey of strength and productivity and progress. If you look at people and compare yourselves with people and think, I'm supposed to be where this person is at, you're going to miss the point. We can't all have the same journey. We can't all have the same story. Wouldn't life be boring if we all had the same thing to say and all had the same things to do and all had the same results? We are different, and so our journeys are different. Okay? Don't think of life based on someone else's expectations of you. Think of life based on God's expectations of you. Am I where God wants me to be? If you are, good for you. If you're not, focus on that. Work on that and get to that place because that's what's important. You want to build a mindset that is not focused on other people's opinions of you. You want to build a mindset that is focused on growth, that is focused on empowerment, that is focused on God's opinion of you. That's the mindset you want to build. Because focusing on what other people think is a weak mindset. It's not about what people expect you to have achieved. It's about what God expects you to achieve. Okay? Sometimes we're so afraid of like where we're at in our lives and we think because I'm at this place, I can't influence or I can't be a certain person or I can't be taken seriously. That is not true. Our physical acquisitions, our material acquisitions don't define who we are. Like I say to you, there are people right now who are staying in mansions that have a poor mindset. They're staying in better places than you're staying in. They're driving better cars than you're driving, but they have a poor mindset. And that's not a positive thing. So look at life based on, is my mindset something admirable? Are my beliefs admirable? Is who I am admirable? Think about life like that. Don't think about life as what I have is what's important. What people see of me is what's important. That's not important at all. That's not important at all. If your journey is for you to get to a mansion, you'll get to a mansion. But if God wants to start you off in a one room, accept that journey. That's your journey, and it's okay. It's going to teach you something, and it's going to teach other people something. So don't feel discouraged based on where you are at in your life. It's not about where you're at, it's about who you are. It's not about where you're at, it's about who you are becoming. It's not about where you're at, it's about who you want to be. Focus on that, who you want to be, and be that person. Let go of the fear. We're so afraid of being ourselves because we want to conform to what other people expect of us, to society's expectations of us. Don't conform. Be who you are, or be who you want to be, and see the magic come from that. Okay? Don't focus on other people's journeys. Focus on your own. And I just want to encourage you and tell you that your journey, your own journey is powerful if you can embrace it. But if you don't embrace it and you want to hide it, people won't see the power in that journey. Okay? I hope this encourages you and it helps you to see that you're not defined by your material acquisitions. You're not defined by your accolades and the things that society deems to be important. No, you're defined by who God says you are and what God expects of you. That is what defines you. And if you can shift your mindset to accept that the best definition of me is me being the best version of what God created me to be, you will be on the right track and you won't end up finding yourself depressed or discouraged and all of those things. Right now, people are discouraged and depressed because they're comparing themselves to other people and they're taking medication for illnesses that they have caused to them or to their own selves, that they put on themselves because of how they think. Just think different. Change your mindset. I know it's easier said than done to not care what people think, but if you really want to make progress in your life, you can make that mindset shift. And once you do, you will see things changing for you. Okay? I hope this video helps you. If you like more of this content, please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you again in the next video. Cheers.